What is going on, guys? Hi y'all, got the second beer from Hot Butcher today, but before we get into the beer, if you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys are new to the channel, you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and the bell for notification of new videos. Let's get into the beer. Today I got a double IPA, Urbs and Horto, 7.5% ABV, brewed with Strata and Mosaic hops. Here we go. Here's the can artwork. Again, very cool. And that little plant thing in the middle reminds me of Mario, man. You know, it just I don't know. That's the thing it reminds me of. Like, no, where else do you see that other than Mario? Or maybe you'll see it in other places. But the first place I've ever seen a plant like that, like a plant, right? An illustration or example of a plant like that was in Mario. So let's get this into a glass, man, see what it looks like, smells like, and tastes like. And if you saw my last video of my very first beer from Hot Butcher, I was extremely impressed. And that was a double IPA at 7.5% ABV as well. I'm expecting great things from this, man, just because the last beer was just so damn good. It's pouring a great color already, man. Definitely different than the last beer. Still a double IPA, but a different color. Poured with just, I always call it a finger of head. It is a very bright white head. I would just say there's maybe a tint of orange to it, but it is a very compact bubbles, man. It looks like a great head, just a typical beer head. The color itself, though, this beer color, if I remember correctly, is a lot more vibrant, a lot brighter than the last beer. I forgot what color the last beer was, but I remember that it was not this bright, man. Let's put it back to the camera here. It is a very bright, paler orange. I wouldn't say there's yellow in here at all, but it's definitely a paler, very nice, very pleasant orange. Definitely very fitting for the summer days, man. Let's get the aroma on this. Oh man, super tropical, very ripe tropical notes. Surprisingly, I'm not getting a whole lot of citrus on this, man. I know the last one I got citrus because I just did it not too long ago. So I got citrus on the aroma, but on the palate it wasn't very overwhelming with citrus at all. But the citrus that was there worked very well with the beer. Yeah, this is very sweet, ripe, tropical. I would say peaches, cantaloupe, mangoes. Maybe a little bit of dankness to it, but then there's this like candied quality to it. Like it's just very ripe, sweet, not vanilla, but just very fresh, ripe fruit. I'm getting mangoes. Like there's a certain kind of mango. So I know I described mangoes as like very ripe, slimy mangoes before, and then I learned that there are, you know, obviously different kinds of mangoes or different strains of mangoes. So they're like the kidney looking ones. Those are the ones I'm talking about when I'm talking about super ripe, darker in color, slimy mangoes. I don't know what they're called, but they're like the kidney shaped ones. Not those huge old ones that are red and green and orange. These are more, I would say, maybe yellow and a slight tint of orange, but that's what I'm getting on here. Very just, those mangoes, super bright, very slimy, very good. Other than that, I'm not getting a whole lot else. Just a freaking huge tropical note, man. Huge tropical note. Very ripe, very enticing. Yeah, let's get into the flavors. Cheers. Super excited. Oh man, yeah, very ripe tropical notes. It is a sweet double IPA, not in a bad way. I would say it is sitting right there on the line of being too sweet. Need hoppiness for sure. There's a hop flavor up front, okay, and in the back slightly. But the sweetness pretty much carries it the entire way, and that hoppiness, I would say, is there so that the beer is not too sweet. Without that hoppiness, this beer would just, I would say, it would be like drinking tropical syrup. No joke, just tropical syrup, because it is that sweet. It is right on the borderline, like I said, of being too sweet. Without that hoppiness to it, it would be extremely sweet, like more so than it is now. Mouthfeel, solid mouthfeel. It is not extremely thick or anything like that. It is definitely half a step above water consistency. There's some body to it. There's definitely a texture to the beer. It's not a huge texture, but a texture nonetheless. And the flavors, it's kind of hard to pick out the flavors. It's just, everything's just so like blended together. You get mangoes, super ripe mangoes. You get a lot of like cantaloupe, super ripe cantaloupe. Getting slight pineapples, a little bit of citrus, not too much citrus, but just a tinge of a word. I feel like tinge is a word. I keep saying it, but I feel like it is a word. A tinge, if it's not, or if I'm using it correctly, I mean a little. There's like a touch. There we go, a touch of citrus there. It's just very ripe, sweet. Navel oranges, or even like very pillowy, soft, ripe mandarin oranges. It's just all of that. And then now I am just realizing that there is alcohol presence there, more so than the last beer. They're both 7.5% ABV. I'm getting more alcohol presence in this one than the last one. Not like a ton, but it is definitely, there's a warming feeling in the back of my throat. And that, like, again, that kind of just reminds you that this is a double IPA or a higher ABV beer. It is not your 5 or 6% ABV IPA. So although this is a huge sweet juice bomb, you should take it slow. Or again, not. I mean, you do you. I like that it's a huge juice bomb. It has a sweetness, but it also has the hoppiness to it. The hoppiness does a lot for this beer, man. I'm telling you. Or if not, I would, if I was to change one thing about this beer, not that I would, because it's good how it is, but if the sweetness was toned down a little to amplify that hoppiness a little bit, or even take both of them down so that, you know, there's an equal balance of the two, just so that the beer isn't so sweet or as sweet as it is now, I think that would make it slightly better in my opinion, just because I like pastry stouts and all that, but when it comes to IPAs, I don't want my IPAs to be super sweet, super malty or anything like that. This is just right on that line, man, of being too sweet. If it was any sweeter, there would have to be more hoppiness to kind of balance it out. If not, this would be, I would say, not undrinkable, but it would be kind of, I would have to like force myself to drink all of it. And I mean, you should not have to force yourself to drink a beer, you know what I mean? Like, I've done that a couple of times where I'm like, oh man, this is so bad, but it's beer, I don't want to waste beer. And there's only maybe 2 beers that I wasn't able to finish. So this is definitely finishable, very crushable, being that it's a huge juice bomb, man. I think I like the last beer better. So it was, I believe I believe that's what it's called. 7.5% ABV from Hot Butcher. Urbs in Horto, I think is what it's called, brewed with Mosaic, Estrada hops. Pretty sure. Urbs in Horto, got it. And I even got the hops, man. Yeah, definitely recommend Hot Butcher to anyone so far. I mean, I've only had 2 beers from them, and they have been incredible so far. They brew great hazy IPAs. Appearance is spot on. Yeah, if you guys like the video, again, comments, anything, leave them below. Thank you for watching, and as always, dream your dreams and believe all things possible. Cheers.